Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to GANGSTER CHRONICLES.
GANGSTER CHRONICLES, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
GANGSTER CHRONICLEs, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
We'd like to welcome everyone to another episode of the GANGSTER CHRONICLES podcast, and I'm with my homeboys, of course.
Big J.
Jim. And man, you know, I wanted to talk about, man, mental health in the Black community. It's a lot of stuff going on. You have a lot of people losing jobs right now. A lot of people not being able to really go out and earn their keep because of all these restrictions. And I know in places like the South and everything else, everything is pretty much opened up and everything, but some people still have to be cautious. And we got a lot of businesses and stuff that's closing down, and it's kind of like a stigma in our communities to talk about mental health. Because if you tell a motherfucker you're going to go see a psychiatrist, they look at you like you crazy or something.
I would too.
Why do you say that?
Keep it 100. I had a psychiatrist in the 3rd grade. Motherfucker didn't teach me nothing, didn't tell me nothing, and couldn't change my mind about nothing. I think it was a waste of money. You know, I'm like this, and keeping it 100. And I ain't prejudiced, but can't nobody that don't know me, especially a white man, get inside of my head and tell me who the fuck I am. And you just met me that day, and then you gonna diagnose me that fast? You don't know me like that. Even as a child. So I didn't bite into that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Draw this square, trace this circle, and they sit in the room and watch you do it. I put every motherfucking thing on the table, triangle, and I took the pencil and I traced that shit and just sat there, done in 3 minutes, and was just sitting there.
I feel what you're saying because you was 8 years old at the time you said, right?
Yep.
So I know as an 8-year-old, it may be hard to process how would that be of a help to me. You feel what I'm saying? But I do think sometimes people just need somebody to talk to, bro.
Maybe some people. It depends. And it depends on that person's situation. But my situation, I'm going back into the same motherfucking environment that I left when I came up here. You know what I'm saying? So after our session, I'm going back home. I still got to look at this monster that feel like he want to whoop my ass. I still got to go back to the neighborhood and figure out how I'm going to deal with these 5 little cats thinking since we the new kid on the block that they can fuck with me. Thinking, okay, I showed him if y'all fuck with that motherfucker, I ain't finna let him chase me with no butcher knives, shit like that. So, I mean, it just wouldn't work for me.
So you was chasing motherfuckers with butcher knives?
Well,
yeah.
James, who came up with the suggestion to take you to a psychiatrist?
The school, Stephen C. Foster.
I figured that. So it wasn't mom or dad or auntie or cousin. No. It was somebody outside the family circle who decided, we need to send him to a psychiatrist.
Growing up, and the only thing you hear is, he bad as a motherfucker. And that's auntie's uncle.
We heard that.
Yeah. but this is the cold part, though.
Shit.
Growing up hearing that you bad. Mm-hmm. And not only from your family members, but people at the school, the kids at school, just everybody saying it. So I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm growing into this shit. So fighting a teacher and busting her nose, and then chasing cats with butcher knives because you ain't finna fuck with me. His name was Mr. Perez at the time. Mm-hmm. And he said he need counseling. So the school had me go to Compton Unified Counseling. And I went to that shit, and apparently they figured that my conversation wasn't worth nothing and he gonna be what he is. They kicked me out of Compton Unified School District at 8 years old. I couldn't go to Compton schools. So I had to go to LA. Mm-hmm. And from LA, the shit continued, I would get kicked out of school every Wednesday. I don't know why it was a Wednesday, but it happened. And my pops wanted to send me to a military school, figuring that I can get help there. It never happened, so shit went on the way it did.
Now, do you think that had they paid more attention to you, because it sounded like more than anything else, you didn't need the whole square in a circle thing. You needed the motherfucker just to talk to you, because sometimes with little kids, when they acting out, it's kind of a cry for help.
Well, I thought at that time I was going to be able to tell my story of why I'm acting out like this. But I didn't get those, why do you act the way you act? You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that. They went around it. I don't know it to make money or to work that clock or whatever, but I didn't get that. I never had a chance to talk to social workers, and everything that I saw, it was like they beat it around the bush, like the doctors, going to the hospital at that time, here go a kid with 8 slashes here and 8 right here, and I'm getting stitches in my head, bleeding like a motherfucker. You wonder, this kid ain't got this off no dresser. You know what I'm saying? And I'm nervous and scared as a motherfucker. You didn't get the help that you get today.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
a whole different animal today, because my wife is actually in social work, and that's her thing. If a kid shows up to her classroom, a teacher report to her that this kid is coming in with welts on them, black eyes and stuff, you can differentiate, the professors can differentiate between a boy just being rough and, probably, busting his head open or blacking his eye, between somebody abusing them, because what should have happened is they should have spoke to you and asked you, hey, James, why are you so angry?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's
going
on?
Causing you to be
the only
so
thing
angry?
the doctor said, how did he get these? And I looked at him. It was the worstest motherfucking look ever. The look that he gave me, say something, I'll bust your motherfucking, like he looked at me like that. But if he wasn't standing right there, I would have said that motherfucker right there hit me with some high heel shoes and whatever he could. And if he'd have went to jail, so be it.
See, because
didn't happen.
So the whole persona of you lashing out and everything like that, you becoming the bully, so to speak, in the school, chasing people, butcher knives, bombing on teachers and stuff, that's a defense mechanism.
Well, it's the trickle down effect, because like you said, the household was already declaring, oh, it's a bad motherfucker right here, because of probably the abuse he was suffering at the hands of, whatever, pops or whatever. That's just going to trickle down effect to the next motherfucker. I don't give a damn.
And we are always taught, man, as black men, to be quiet. Don't say nothing about what goes in your house, because if you think about the way we got our ass whooped back in the day, they would consider that abuse, because I tell my wife about some of the
whoopings I used to get. I used to, especially if you got parents, who come from that era, back in the days, the rough life, the 40s, the slave shit, all that, the abusive shit. Man, I used to get whooped. You feel me? So me as a kid, my mom, when I got in trouble or punishment, it wasn't looked at as abuse. I'm going to go outside and grab a switch off the tree and I'm going to whoop your ass.
Oh, yeah, them braided switches.
I would prefer a switch anytime, opposed to a stitching cord.
We got extension cords.
That razor. No, I'm talking about when you get an ass whooping with a stitching cord and it draw blood. I'm talking about over excessive bullshit.
Yeah, that's excessive.
Back then and today, some people knew how far to go whooping their kids' ass. But back then, we got our ass whoopings. Maybe that's why we different from this generation. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't get their ass whooped like that. But I got the stitching cord, the high heel shoes, the fist. I had to fight him. You feel me? I had to fight my pops. You know what I'm saying? I had to grab onto the stitching cord and while this nigga got his foot on my chest, just trying to hit me all different kind of ways. It didn't matter.
Yeah, that ain't
You
cool.
know what I'm saying?
That
So I
ain't
had
cool.
to hold on to whatever the fuck, because this ain't right.
Because I think we all had them to a certain extent, because I could never put that on my step-pops. My step-pops gave me his last name, so I know he loved me. He did, the stuff. But like Ace said, he was a motherfucker that was older than my mom. He was from Mississippi. And he been working since he was 9 or 10, and that's how they just got down. You know what I mean? That's how they got down. There was no nonsense, no talking back. Yes, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. You know, so if I violated that, I ain't gonna say he went as far as hitting me with stuff, but I'm serious. He whooped my ass one day with a fishing pole, dog. And it's like, it had welts on me, and I kind of put in my mind that I'm not taking no more ass whoopings like that, because I was around 15 at the time, and I started getting kind of huff. So one day he walked up them stairs to my room, because I kind of stayed in a little attic right in the 3rd floor. You know how the houses is in the Midwest. So he walking up there, and I see him with the rod in his hand. First thing I did is kind of pushed him back down the stairs. And next thing you know, he reaching for his pistol, because he looking at me like he was in shock, like, this motherfucker is strong. Now he ain't taking it. So at that point, it was time for me to go with my real dad for a minute, because you can't be in no another man's house and he's scared of you.
Exactly.
Because that pretty much would have happened. So I think just back in the day, man, what I see in our communities is this massive transference of pain. Somebody do something to me, I'm going to go do this to this motherfucker now. Why should he be exempt from it? And especially the kids that I felt like wasn't going through the same shit that I was doing, because it's a subconscious thing, I believe.
Exactly.
We lash out and transfer that pain that we get into somebody else.
Well, I believe we have excuses. We use what we got going on in the house as an excuse to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? But my excuse was legit. I was taught to be who I am. I was told who I am, I have to be. I was taught that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have it no other way. I couldn't. How can you be soft and you going through shit like that? You know, picture getting an ass whooping and your wounds ain't even healed from the last one. That shit hurts when you get hit again.
Hell fucking is.
And at 15, oh no, I'm gonna have to kill this motherfucker right here.
Exactly.
It
15 is that limit, man. I ain't taking no more shit at 50. Fuck that shit.
That was my time right there, and I think all of us, man, as black males, even our black women, we are taught to suppress everything. Don't cry. Because I had a stepdad tell me, don't start acting like no little bitch and start crying.
Yeah, that was the motto.
You know what I'm saying? Don't start acting like a little bitch and start crying.
You couldn't have been no black dude from our era, a kid or a teenager or a young man, and show no motherfucking tears. That just doesn't happen. Now you looked upon as a weak ass motherfucker. Then it don't matter what the situation is. You cannot cry.
Exactly, because what that does when you suppressing stuff, see, stress is a motherfucker, because when you hold all that shit inside, you don't cry. You already taught, don't cry. You don't want to look like no punk. And you holding all this stuff in here.
It ain't stress, though.
The next
is anger.
It's anger, yeah, exactly. But check this out, though, James, because it's the same shit, right? All that shit builds up inside of you. And what happens when something builds up, it eventually bursts, right? So that's what happened. The next motherfucker you catch, he might have did something real petty, like bumped into you. Not on purpose, not paying attention, stepped on your shoes. Next thing you know, you over this dude whooping his ass because he catching all the trauma that you done been through. So it's a massive transference of pain. And so I really feel like the shit that you've done in your life, James, not making excuses, but you had legitimate pain. Like when I talk to you about some of the shit you've been through, bro, I'm like, man, that motherfucker should have been locked the fuck up. Right. Immediately. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do no kid like that. It's like, and I think it all ultimately made us better fathers, right?
Yeah. But in our days, shit, they really, I mean, unless a motherfucker, you ended up dead, buried in somebody, they didn't really fuck with it like that, especially in our neighborhoods and the kids and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, out of fear of, shit, I go home, a motherfucker gonna fuck me up worser. So who am I to tell? You get me? At that hour, I gotta go home. You feel me? Exactly. That's the fear of the shit.
Exactly, because I remember, man, before I got my grades together and stuff, football pretty much saved my life. But I remember report cards would come to the crib, right? And I would try to catch that report card before Pops picked it up or Mom's picked it up. You know, Mom's picked it up, it wasn't that bad, right?
Right.
But if Pops picked it up and if he saw a D on that motherfucker, I learned how to change them D's and the B's. You feel what I'm saying? And just manipulate the whole system, because it seemed like he just went extra hard on everything. But then me looking back as a grown-ass man now, I appreciate him a little bit more, because he did put a lot of good qualities in me as a man, like as far as like a man is supposed to go to work and take care of his house, so you ain't supposed to be living up off no woman. Because every day, one thing about that motherfucker, every day I saw his ass waking up at 3 in the morning, going to work, not coming back home at 6 o'clock and doing the same thing again. Eat, watch the news a little bit, whoop some ass in between all that if he had to, and do the same thing all over again 7 days a week.
Well, see, I didn't have that. I had a grandfather.
I didn't have that either, James. No. My father was out of the house by the time I was gang banging and claiming and all that. My pops was in another state. He left. You know, my mom's practically raised me, my sister, and my younger brother on her own in the streets. So she had to be the disciplinary. Like I said, we got the whoopings, we got the punishments, but not to disrespect moms. But by the time, like you said, I was 15, I wasn't hearing shit. Right. My rebellion came out of not having a motherfucking father in the household. You know, I talked to my pops every now and then or whatever. You know, maybe went on a vacation to where, you know, down to Oklahoma or wherever he was staying or whatever. But I didn't have a father in the house. So my rebellion came from not and being able to, you get me, regulate with the niggas down the block and all that. That's because I didn't have no pops in the house. So I don't know what the presence would have been, but a lot of rebellion and shit comes from niggas who don't have pops in the household.
Exactly. Well, I would say, I say that all the time, man. And that's why with our Father to Father program that we establishing, because a lot of fathers do want to be involved. You got some women that don't want to let the, man, do his job or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying, and keep him away from the kids because she got a problem with him. And really, that's the worst thing a woman could do to their kid. Because it ain't about your relationship with
they
that
don't know
dude
no
more.
better either, because once the relationship goes sour, she feeling bitter, she feeling used. That's the only thing she have for leverage to hurt a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like me, it was a difference for me because I couldn't stand my mom's. You know what I'm saying? My biggest gripe with her was, how could you let him do this to me? You feel me? And
she wasn't protecting you.
No, she would sit there on the edge of the bed and watch this shit. Wait a minute. It's natural that you protect your kids.
Yeah, that's a mother.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get that. So I'm growing up and gangbanging down is, and she'll say something to me, I'll snap. Bitch, I don't want to hear shit. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I went to prison that I had to just like check myself. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And try to understand that she loved him more than she loved us. You know what I'm saying? Or, her thinking that it was my fault. It ain't my fault. You fucked another dude.
Yeah,
you
or
was
probably
with,
fear.
If he feeling like, and I'm just keeping it 100, if he felt like I'm not his son, you must have been fucking around. Now here I got this dude coming to me telling me he my pops. But really, in reality, nigga, I've been damn near 30. Fuck you too. Where was you at when I was getting my ass whooped, clown?
Yeah, real shit.
Right.
A mother can't stop you from, I'm going to get my son. Fuck giving me money and sliding shit to me. Come rescue me, motherfucker. So when I went to prison, it changed everything. Prison taught me. Prison made me kind of like realize a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And from the day I got out of prison, everything I did for my mother because I felt I owed her, because I put her through a lot of shit. So it's just pretty much the shit I learned from my grandfather. The rest of it is self-taught. You know what I'm saying? And I really felt like I can be this fucking monster because once I start smelling the fear of motherfuckers and the running from me and walking away from me and can't look at me, I felt like, okay, I got these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That was your
outlet. That was your stress relief.
At that point, it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter to me. And my mom used to just tell me, kick back. You need to relax. Other things is coming for you. You need to do this. I didn't want to hear shit, but where Mob James at? I'm listening to Mob James the whole time. I didn't want to hear nobody else. I wasn't on no snatching purses. I wasn't on no climbing through motherfucking windows. I was a goddamn gangbanger. I was happy being one. I was certified being one, and that's the only thing that meant to me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that the gangbanging, this is a question for you, A. Do you think this gave you purpose in the family, the gangbanging?
What you mean, the purpose in the family?
Like, do you think the gangbanging gave you kind of like a reason to be, so to speak, and like a family, kind of like a family that you didn't have at home?
No, it really wasn't no difference. I'm in the hood. I'm hanging with the homies. I'm getting used to the homies. I'm kicking it at the homies' house. They just became part of, because now everybody is hanging in my house. You know what I'm saying? And man, I got so many goddamn stories, and every cat that know me, if they come in my house at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm pulling a rifle out the window, firing at their ass. Pow! Nigga, y'all know it's too early. I'm shooting at motherfuckers. But the hood gave me that. I ain't worried about being homeless. I got somewhere to go. I'm gonna eat. I'm this and that. So I wasn't insecure about shit because I had something to do. I'm on the block all damn day, hanging out, trying to, sell fucking rocks and shit. So, and then I had my 2 brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that was family. You know what I'm saying? And my sisters and them my little sister was with it. My other sister was, let's say, Beverly Hills. Like, no, you gotta love your daddy. Shut the fuck up. And I used to take shit out on the boyfriends. You feel me? Instead of hurting them, because that's one thing I hated. And I watched how my pops beat up my mother. You know what I'm saying? And I hated a motherfucker that beat a woman and won't beat a man. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand when he was at the motorcycle club and, oh, fuck you, Big Mac. Kiss my mother. Damn, he ain't doing nothing to this dude. Why?
Choosing his victims.
Yeah. This motherfucker talking shit, but they talk shit like that. But at that time, I don't know. Why you ain't getting in this dude ass? Why you didn't get in my uncle ass? You know what I'm saying? He tell me I gotta say yes sir to a motherfucker. He tell me I don't have to say that. But my uncle say yes sir, and I wouldn't say it. I don't give a fuck what he did to me. Punching on me the whole 9. I'm not finna say yes sir. He said I ain't gotta never say that to no other man. So I'm going by what he's trying to instill in me. I ain't getting that. He's sitting here, my uncle choking me, telling me to say this shit. I'm looking at this dude, why did you didn't snatch his hand off me? So it wasn't nothing he could say. Right there, his shit was shot with me.
Yeah,
and
that's
didn't
crazy,
give a fuck.
man. And you know what? This one thing I noticed, man, in our community, it's a lot of secrets, man. Like I'm gonna tell you, on the women's side, it's a lot of young girls that get raped at home, get sexually abused, and never say nothing and just hold all that in, man. It's a lot of pain in our community, man.
Well, they scared.
Products of the environment, man. Family members or motherfuckers close to home, motherfuckers where you got to be supported by, and then like in James' situation, like he said with moms, sometimes women feel like being quiet and going along with the program and shit saves them in a sense. So, you never know about what kids have to go through in the situation. So it's a lot of hidden secrets.
Yeah.
Well, being a kid and being touched by the uncle, mama, boyfriend, etc., they scared to talk. They scared to say something. And the ones that do, what happens? Oh, he ain't tried to touch you. Mama takes the side of the man.
Yeah,
She so-called herself love.
Because that's that support structure.
It's fucked up. But, and women bring all different kind of men in front of their kids. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah, which I never understood.
I know some women today that won't bring a nigga in front of their children.
Amen for them.
You know what I'm saying? But you got women that want you to meet their kids. Come on now. You don't know what type of nigga I am. You don't know if I like boys or girls or both.
Yeah, and that happens a lot too, with the boys. You got little boys that don't been, and then we wander around, and it's like I was telling somebody the other day, I tried my best, man. I ain't perfect, but I try my best not to pass judgment on people because I don't know what they've been through.
Right.
You know, a lot of people a lot of women you see walking the street now doing different stuff, and you just, you know, we quick to call them hoes and bitches or whatever like that, but they done been to some pretty traumatic shit. I had a homegirl that stayed next door to me. It was 4 girls. And I learned later on, because them 4 girls was all real promiscuous, right? They was known as the girls in the neighborhood. If you wanted to go, they was everybody's first piece of ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you find out later on, years later, that their dad was real strict. That strict motherfucker. He was in there touching on all the little girls, man. You know, something eventually happened to him. I don't know if he got locked up or what, but he eventually got, you know, caught up with that shit, I heard. But he was doing this for years, man. And all of those girls, I think out of all 4 of them, maybe one of them turned out all right. But them other 3 girls is lost because they had secrets that they couldn't tell. Now, just imagine, you got a motherfucker, you a little girl, you a little boy in some cases, and you got a motherfucker that come to your room every night and have his way with you. And you can't say nothing. You go to your mama or somebody that you think will help you. Boy, stop lying. You lying. Girl, you lying. You didn't do that, or it's your fault that you did that. And besides that, you got the motherfucker that's doing it to him, tell him if you say something, anything, I'm going to kill him. And they're scared to death.
It's unfortunate that you know, females caught in that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we as men sometimes we get caught in the fucked up worlds of control and abuse and all that shit to do motherfuckers. And then women be feeling like maybe, you know, because they support system or they came from a broken home or whatever, so they got to turn the other cheek because then what's going to happen to me? Right. If I speak up or if I do the protection, then what happens to me? You get me? You know, especially if they that type, if they're not strong or independent or, you know, like, fuck that, you know, I get my own money. You know, you got a lot of females like that today who are very independent and who won't stand for certain shit. But, you know, back in the days of old or whatever, or certain situations where, you know, where mama is dependent on the man bringing home the bread, or it's that structure or whatever. So they be feeling like, well, what the fuck is going to happen to me? So they kind of turn the other cheek. And that's where you come with that's where you come with the rebellion from the kids at young ages or whatever.
Well, that's why they got to understand. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Excuses. Mm-hmm. Being a stripper, I got a reason why I'm a stripper. We got excuses. We need to get rid of the excuses, because I don't have an excuse for the shit that I've done in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I chose to use and say it was because of my daddy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all of that. When you 18, 17, 16, you know better.
Right.
Your mind is growing. You understand. You know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you see motherfuckers out there shaking their ass and twerking and shit, you know better. You know better. What type of woman you want to be? What type of man do you want? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you working in the strip club and you get a nigga in the strip club that's watching you dance, then he wants you to quit. I know y'all heard this many times. You met me in the strip club, so why should I quit? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, the situation has changed, ain't it? You got a good man now. I got you. You ain't got to do that. No, it's already here. Mm-hmm. She already that's conditioned, and she gonna stay in the motherfucking strip club. Nigga, I don't know if you gonna leave in a week. Why should I quit? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, it's just so fucked up, and it all boils down to fuck excuses. We just don't have no respect for each other, ourselves.
Real shit. Real shit. Because you know what it is in our community. We do like to play the blame game a whole lot. We point at everybody. We point at the police officers. We point at everybody else, right? But we don't respect one another.
Right.
We don't respect one another. I was talking to Bobcat, you know, DJ Bobcat the other day, and he said that, man, he said, you know what, Steele? I really want to change this narrative, because he said, you know, the worst thing I ever did in my life, because, you know, Bobcat was one of the founder members of Rollin' 40 Crip. Mm. And he said he go back and he listened to these young cats talk, and he said, that's not something I'm proud of.
Right.
Because I can't think of not one good thing that our hood has done besides a bunch of motherfuckers leaving the planet way too early, a bunch of destruction, and a bunch of mamas crying. He said he went to his homeboy's funeral when he was younger, 17, 18, something like that. He said that's when he realized, he said, man, this is some fucked up shit we created.
It is.
You know, it's a poisonous cycle. So I think we all have a lot of problems in the black community, not just the black community.
But did we create the gang mentality, or did we adopt that from all the shit that we were seeing before us?
We adapted what we saw.
Exactly.
Nothing was created. We adapted.
I hate when people say that we created the gang shit and we started gang bang and all that, because it was the imagery of being the tough guy and the man with the pistols and running the neighborhood that came back from long before. Motherfuckers was doing that way before us. So we adopted that mentality and that lifestyle because it was a way that we saw to extend the pot or the pile or the money or the recognition or the ownership or belonging or whatever it is. But this is our neighborhood. We gonna protect it. So we are this. But we didn't form shit. We didn't start like whatever. We got that idea from other shit that was created.
Well, I think it was spawned from all the shit that was just going on.
Gang war.
Yeah.
Gang war is nothing but a female lived over here, fucking with a nigga over here, and that nigga over here, that was his bitch. Nigga, you over there fucking her? And he goes over there. But the homies don't know why this nigga got a beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you got, I mean, this shit has been way before our time. Way before our time. This niggas lying on each other. This niggas starting shit over here and over there, and it's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So here you got a big-ass gang war, and it just got out of hand. Now motherfuckers is pretty much beefing over the same old bullshit, but they just more personal with it now than back then in the days. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, you could see the homies and hang out and really didn't have to worry about these niggas coming to do a drive-by. Now here come 81, 82. Niggas ain't got 38s no more. Niggas using Uzis and big shit.
Guns and shit. They got some big-ass tools.
So it's totally different, but it's just gangbanging has the same concept that it did when it first came to the hood. Niggas protecting the neighborhood. So we think that that's what it is. We thought that's what it is. But then it went more personal.
Right.
Because the leaders didn't like that motherfucker, or this dude didn't like that motherfucker.
Or
so
this girl was fucking that nigga or
exactly.
whatever. That's what it
So
turned
it just
into.
broke down to a lot of different shit, and everything had a reason for it. Mm-hmm. This is why. This is how whole boy got killed. This is why. Everybody has an excuse for something, but now they're just so fucking. It's fucked up now. You know, even with the way the world is going now and the way shit is changing, you know, these 19, 20-year-old cats that have mind development ain't paying attention that, man, at any time, we could be attacked by woo-woo-woo. The white supremacists out there like on 100 and want you to see them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is getting hung and we overlooking it. You know what I'm saying? And you looking at all of these motherfuckers that's going to jail today at the Capitol that was in law enforcement. I'm talking about top-ranked motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing.
But think, these motherfuckers that's killing us in these police cars, what you think these motherfuckers is? They only showing us they out here now. Yeah, y'all done hired some racist motherfuckers. And they coming from the militaries, all ranks, regardless. Here they are. And they taking us out and we ain't even paying attention, but we killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Because we naive and we don't give a fuck and we don't listen. We don't use this. Mm-hmm. And every time I say this shit, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about we.
Exactly.
We, because I'm a very big part of our situation today. You know what I'm saying? It's cats in my neighborhood today that want to be like that dude, or in every hood, somebody want to be like that dude. Every hood, somebody want to be like MCA. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If it's rapping, but I'm in the hood, I got to get my grind on. It ain't coming the way it's coming. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they want to be like him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is portrayed. I don't give a fuck if you on or off camera. Somebody is betraying you. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So we are the fucking gatekeepers of our own motherfucking self.
Yeah, real.
We just got to figure out, like when niggas be saying with the killing, we killing each other and we not noticing that it's outside motherfucking forces that are creeping who've been killing us for years, but we learn how to hate each other so much. We got to figure that fucking shit out.
Well,
first.
get your head out the dirt and start paying attention to life. Stop being so goddamn proud of nothing. Because if you don't want to get a goddamn job and work at McDonald's, and then you mad at the Mexicans, you mad at the white kids that's working at McDonald's, Taco Bells, and all that other shit, that's your goddamn fault. If you kick an aluminum can, pick that motherfucker up. You just kicked 5 cents, motherfucker. You feel me?
For real.
And
you talked about that the other day.
Yeah, and when you see people collecting them cans or selling ice cream and shit, here we go on an easy come up, and we want to take that shit. These motherfuckers is trying to work for their shit with no excuses. You don't have an excuse. You got these Mexican ladies out there, at least 50 in their 60s, doing aluminum, plastic, the whole nine.
Yeah, I see them all the time.
But we got too much motherfucking pride to pick up a can. We got too much pride to work at McDonald's or work for that $9.95, that $11. Man, that shit helps.
Yeah, you know the weirdest thing I see, man, and it was real crazy to me, man. You would see a kid, some young people hanging out, you know, they smoking their weed, just doing whatever, right? And you tell a motherfucker, hey, you know they hiring over here around the corner, everything. Man, they only paying $10 an hour. They ain't enough money
because
for
through
me.
that mentality, a nigga can feel like I can sell me some yay, or I can sell me some shit, and I can make $200-300 a day compared to working at McDonald's getting a check. You get me? To the young mind, you have to understand the mentality.
They gotta understand though.
I got a 16-year-old son, so his mentality, everything is, you know, I want the freshest shit. I want the latest gear, the nicest phones.
That's where you're crippling him at.
I want this and that. Then when he's listening to his favorite rapper, quote, you know, oh, nigga, fuck a bitch, you know, pop that Draco, money, 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 you know, look at my Balenciaga this, my shoes this, my that. That influences a motherfucker to go, working at no motherfucking McDonald's ain't finna get me no Balenciagas.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you about that.
When you was going on tour and all that shit and doing videos, half of the jury that was coming and half of the cars that was coming to the set of that video shoot went right back to where it came from.
Or
most cats didn't have that shit like that.
My thing was, as a rapper coming up, I never wanted to exploit that side of shit.
Right.
If it wasn't mine, I don't want it.
Right.
That's what I tried to stick to as an MC coming up. I never wanted to go outside of my boundaries to make motherfuckers think that it was something it wasn't.
Right.
If you don't see no motherfucking Rolls Royce in the video, that's because I don't got one.
Well, H, you got to look at it too, not to cut you off, bro, but you have to look at it. That's why you respect it from east to west, because you always portrayed the realness of the neighborhood. It wasn't never no phony or no overly flamboyant shit. You know what I mean?
To the youth, but to some youth, like to me growing up, when I saw the nigga on the block with the Elko, with the plush and the brand new Daytons and the motherfucker, I thought, oh shit, going to McDonald's ain't finna get that. So what did I do? I started selling crack because that's what's going. That was. It was already taught to me. I didn't have the father at home going, you work hard, you go to work, you bring the money home, you save. I didn't get taught that. And then as a youth, being able to hit the block young, I was taught to serve and get money. Now, that's what my mentality was. Not until I got older, I knew, oh, this shit ain't for me.
But everything that you didn't have, you try to get to your son, right?
Exactly.
Same here.
My 4-year-old grandson, we're in the store. We're in Walmart. And I said, you want this? I think the toy was like 1997 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He said, no, I want that. I said, that costs too much money. No, I'm not finna buy that. No, I want that. He's learning he know what the fuck he want. You know what I'm saying?
You know the value of some shit.
but
I don't want that shit.
But I don't want to teach him that. You know what I'm saying?
They
When
pick
I grew
up that shit quick
I
as
swear
fuck.
to God on my mama. We got a big ass avocado tree in our front yard in Compton. And we had one in the backyard. Me and my two brothers picked avocados, took them back then, it was Market Basket. And took them in front of the store. We went and got a basket and loaded that basket up. And back then they had crocus sacks. Remember them?
Yeah.
We used to wanted a pair of crocus sacks bad the motherfucker. And it was J.J. Newberry's. They love to see us coming. We learned how to buy our own shit. Because our daddy wasn't giving us no pair of shoes. From Alton feet was bigger than mine. His shoes that he was wearing out went to me. And them motherfuckers, when I couldn't fit them no more, they sat in the goddamn closet. Ain't no throwing shit away. Now I'm teaching and my kids see different shit. They don't have to want for nothing. And that's why when they get grown, they think daddy's supposed to still be there. No, you a grown motherfucker. You do what you want. I ain't got that.
And I noticed with the young cats, either they don't value stuff like they should, because the thing is, and I think y'all might have had it the same way, if I did get that nice pair of tennis shoes, them motherfuckers came off when I came home.
Right.
You know, school clothes. You know,
Yeah,
back when
you
we actually had school clothes.
you don't wear your decent clothes or your school clothes, and when you come home,
you better take that shit off.
You take that shit off. You put on them old shoes, that old short set or that old T-shirt, because our parents back then knew the struggle and knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? So the value, the kids nowadays, they don't know really the value of a dollar.
No, they don't.
They don't.
And that's
don't.
why I
have
gotta
to
switch
explain, like to my son. My son every day he wants to run the fucking the In-N-Out or Cane's every day. I want this, I want that. You try, and then they don't value the dollar. You get me? Because it's every day. It's like, and then I had to tell him the other day, nigga, do you know I give you about $20, $30 a day?
Yeah.
A day, not a week. For a 15-year-old kid, I give you $30 a day.
Ask him to add that up times 7.
And I'll be like, and nigga, I never saw that. And in my wildest dreams, my moms or pops handing me $30 a day.
Yeah, that's $600 if you give it to them money through
Man,
Friday.
that's why I tell.
That's $600
They don't value
a month.
a dollar.
Man.
Then just like the other day, just bought him a brand new helmet last season. Brand new $400 Rydell helmet.
He ready
What
for
you
a new
think?
one.
Oh, nigga, I need me a brand new helmet this year. I need me that so-and-so, so-and-so.
It's about fashion.
I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? So they don't understand the value of a dollar nowadays because all they see is rich, 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 money, money, money. And then a lot of our kids in this generation, if you don't take a hold of them and show them the hard work of it, because you got some kids out there go to school, they get them an after school job, whatever. But a lot of the kids, you know, like myself, grew up looking at the fantasy life of what it was to be the rapper or be the whatever. So they haven't taught hard work or growing up hard. So they misguided in some way. Like you said, James, little nephew walked in the store like $20.
Yeah.
Man, I need
120 is what I
thing,
get.
James.
What
You ain't
you
gotta
mean?
see
Try
them.
to give a kid $1 a day.
Man, please.
They're gonna look at you like what you can do. This is a true story. Last year, my youngest son, 22, good kid. I bought him a 2017 Altima. He had it for like maybe 2 weeks. Motherfucker called me, come get it. What you mean come get it? The battery dead. Charge the battery. Why is the battery dead? Because when he picked it up, he never drove the car. He wanted me to pay for the insurance too. Motherfucker, I just bought you a car. If my mama would have bought me one car, it'd have been cool. If my daddy would have bought me a car, it'd have been cool. I just bought you a 2017, motherfucker. And you say, come get it?
And it was a nice car too.
I told the wife, I said, come on, let's go. I went to motherfucking Hemet. I picked that motherfucker up and drove it home. I said, okay, That's $8,000. I might as well keep this motherfucker. Then I said, fuck it. My uncle hit me up. Oh, I heard you got the car. Woo. Come get it. My uncle bought it. But you ain't never had a car a day in your motherfucking life. And this is what I say. I'm not pacifying my children.
Exactly.
You ain't never had a car. Now, once I came and got that one and you know it's gone, what the fuck you calling me for? I need a car. Before I bought that car for him, I gave him my truck, my Suburban. He had that motherfucker for a year. Came back, cans, bottles, all kind of shit in the motherfucker, right? Like, goddamn, nigga, return shit that
they don't appreciate
clean it out.
Yeah, they don't appreciate.
Don't clean it out or nothing.
Had it for a whole year. Right after that, he gets the car. Right after that, I go get the car, and bam. Now you calling me and telling me you want a car. What you want me to do about that? I'm not finna buy you no motherfucking car. Well, you got a woo-woo. You ain't me, and you ain't paying for the motherfucker.
Exactly.
You know, it's sad to say. You know, my daughter is in jail. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to listen. She want to do her own thing. You know what I'm saying? All the time and money that I spent trying to help her, she still wanted to do her, regardless of what. I say, babe, you need to get out of Compton. Let's get out of Compton. Let's find an apartment or something. I ain't leaving Compton. Now what you want me to do? Now I get a phone call, she in the standoff with the police. I couldn't say shit, but she got her daddy and her mama in her. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're a product
but
of your environment.
I got her son. So don't think you finna call me and have me sending you packages and shit.
Yeah, because you got to take
You're
care of
taking care of them. Yeah.
I ain't fucking with you. But when you come home, I got you. Because this is a whole new start. I got you. You're going to have that support system when you come home. But I'm not finna spend $75 just to hold a conversation with you over the phone. You know the phone shit changed now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You got to get a card and all that.
Definitely.
They not finna get rich off me. I'm not finna do that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you'll be talking to somebody else.
Shit, please.
So, and this how fucked up it is. If you want to write, you got the address, write us a letter. Write me a letter. I'll write you back. The stamp ain't shit. I'll write you back. I love you to death. But I'm just saying, you know, if we pacify our kids, man, and keep giving them what they want and keep bailing them out and all that other shit, man, we
really not
fucking
doing
them
them a
up.
favor. You're not doing them a favor at all because they'll never learn.
Man.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, James, you know, because this all ties into what we're talking about, man. And this is a question for you too, A. How many people in the neighborhood do you think suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder through all the shit that everybody done been through?
Shit, pretty much everybody.
Mm-hmm.
From being shell-shocked, from being shot at and running and from getting your ass whooped by the police, getting your ass whooped by the homies, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to what degree though? Some motherfuckers just with that type of shit. Some motherfuckers just truly accept getting their ass whooped by the police.
All right, now this is the definition of PTSD. It says for every 100 people who experience a traumatic event, up to 8 of them will go on to develop PTSD, a serious and severe form of panic disorder. The sufferer, when triggered, will experience PTSD symptoms, including a rapid, irrational, all-encompassing fight or flight response to the stimuli. The stimuli could be a place, smell, sound, or person that reminds them of a traumatic event.
Everybody walking the planet, what you just described. Pretty much everybody that's been involved that or lived in the neighborhood, that experienced the gang life, culture, should I say? Everybody that's pretty much out there. Everybody got a story, Norm. Everybody got a story. But the only difference is your story not like mine. You know, our stories are like fingerprints. Everybody got their own unique story. And there's a lot of people out there that been through it and still don't understand. Still don't understand. You got some cats out there in their 60s, still don't understand and still don't know how to get away from what they experienced all their life because that's all the fuck we know. don't have a way out. So what you just described there is pretty much everybody in this room done went through it, and whatever somebody could say something foul that triggers us to go there.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, I talked to some people, like I was talking to my kids one day, right? And it kind of tripped me out, and I forget sometimes that they was raised in an environment totally different than I was, right? We was watching the Boys in the Hood movie. You know, to them, that's all new stuff. So we watching Boys in the Hood at home, right? And it come to the part where the kid walk up on a dead body and say, hey, y'all want to see a dead body? You know, and they go over there and see it, right?
Yeah.
And my sons and them looking like, damn, you know, motherfuckers laid out like a dog. I said, man, that's natural. I said, east side of Cleveland, you liable to be walking to school and see a motherfucker in the side of the road in the ditch. You know what I'm saying? Holes in his head, hole in his face. You know what I'm saying? I saw a motherfucker one time look like his whole face was gone. And after a while, you become kind of desensitized to that shit. And that's the crazy part about it. You think that would be shocking to most people, but you become desensitized to it.
Yeah.
Mm. So it's definitely a whole bunch. And I think that, man, I think what you went through was a fucked up experience, and it gave you probably a bad view of therapy. But therapy, I think some people need it, man.
If I wouldn't mob James, I wouldn't be here today.
Exactly.
That's how the fuck I look at it.
And then I think black people, us as a whole, we deal with that type of situation differently than other people. You know, see a lot of kids who commit suicide or do kind of shit, but I think as a people, we deal with certain situations differently than other races or other creeds or whatever. It's just who we are. We can, you know, we've been through a lot of traumatic shit. Yeah. We seem to be able to handle traumatic shit better than a lot of people.
Well, that's because we lucky. We lucky we got out of it. We lucky we survived the shit. And there's a whole lot of cats out there like you and I that are lucky and able to sit here at 50, 55,
I say it every
60
day.
To say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers, Bloods and Crips, turning to God. Mm-hmm. They preachers. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about, man, brother, I got a word for you. Stopping you in the street. You know what I'm saying? Gangbanging has went so far to the left. You know, you pick up this goddamn phone and go on Facebook, you got gang members having sex with gang members. You feel me? Mm. It's just so not. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's real twisted.
It's crazy
right
as fuck. And you know, I'm like this. When I was in prison, I seen a lot of motherfuckers fucking and getting fucked by other men. Mm. And I seen a lot of motherfuckers come home to the streets with their chests out, their pants still sagging, and doing them. Because what I did in the penitentiary, that don't got nothing to do with my gangster. Mm-hmm. Bullshit, it does. Everything that we do, it reflects on us. As a man, just me being me. Everything I do reflects on me. You know what I'm saying? And cats don't get it. You know, you got that shit they call, what is it, DL or some shit? Mm-hmm. Niggas on the down low. You got a lot of that bullshit.
Yeah, you know what the thing that pissed me off about that? Because let me tell the people out there, for y'all get started, we don't care about what somebody's lifestyle is, but live your truth.
Not at all.
Live your truth. Don't do this on the down low and go back and put other people at risk, because that's what you're doing.
Well, that ain't what I was saying. Was that the shit is so watered down now today, and you know, you got a lot of us getting killed over still this color of the rag, and half of the shit is homies killing homies. It ain't what gang banging started out to be or where it went. Gang banging went from Bloods being Bloods and Crips being Crips. Nigga, let's get at each other. You know what I'm saying? Now there's homies, well, it's been like that from the beginning of time, but now there's homies just out front, just, you know, shooting a nigga in his back for a little money. Mm-hmm. Setting up the homie because he fuck with his bitch. You know what I'm saying? There's so much pussy on this planet, you ain't gotta fight for one. but niggas is doing it over this thing called love. Come on, man, that ain't what this shit was designed to be. This and everybody ain't gangsters. Everybody ain't gangsters and can't be gangsters. Gangster by nature, not by choice. You can't be no self-made ass gangster. You can't be a gangster because that nigga said you with the business. You ain't no gangster because you put up a pistol and shot a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? You ain't no gangster because you doing all this dumb shit. And I was never that because everything I just described, I was doing. That didn't make me no motherfucking gangster. That made me I was a statistic. I did what I thought was right, and that's how I wanted to live.
You know, everybody's situation is different. Research and get you some help if you can. Get that shit out there. I got something I want to talk about, though, real quick. That's totally off of this. Our 100th episode is coming up, man, next month.
Right.
On the March 23rd. What should we do for the people? I already got a couple of the long-term fans that they go come through, you know what I'm saying, and fall through.
Right.
Should we open this up? I know with the COVID shit going on and everything, I want to do something special.
I see up here we got all the hand sanitizers, the mask is mandatory. We want to celebrate our 100th episode with the people that help us get here.
Invite a couple of guests up in or something.
Yeah.
Invite a couple of fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they don't have to worry about nothing when they come. Just sit back and we do our show or whatever, do our 100th episode, and maybe we can get them up here at the round table and let them tell them what they love about the show.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I really believe that, giving back.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We got to
give
back.
a couple of bottles of champagne.
Oh, yeah, because,
shit.
You know, especially because I look on the, you know, shout out to Eric Cairo, to Dustin. And if I miss your name, I'm getting old. Don't do that. But I see y'all and I notice y'all and I appreciate y'all because y'all been the guys there from day one to the changes that the show went through, and they've been there and really pretty much because of y'all. That's why we here, you know. And
exactly.
So just keep on the lookout for that. We gonna be posting more information about that. And that's it, fellas.
I want to say one last thing. We got a lot of kids out here. Still, I know you can reflect on this one too before we get out of here with the mental health thing, with the situation in California and a lot of kids not being able to play sports right now. A lot of kids are depressed and, you know, committing suicide or just being way deep into depression. So just hang in there. You know, I'm one. Steele is one. We all got kids, grandkids, you know, and it's a serious situation. So, and noticing that other states are allowing their kids to play sports and all that. So we need to just get back to some kind of normalcy, you know. Try to watch your kids out there, watch the signs of depression, and if you can, man, just try to get your kids out there to try to do some kind of activity.
Yeah, exactly, because they got club ball, now they got all kind of stuff. And like A said, we here. If y'all need somebody to talk to,
exactly,
you know, hit us up. Hit us up. You know, that's what we here for. This is not, you know, we don't do this for no type of glory. You know, we not chasing fame or money or nothing like that.
We here to help, you know. Like I said, James talks to people, get them, you know, with his knowledge. Steele, you and myself, like I said, being involved with kids and sports, you know, so we all have something to lend to that aspect. So yeah, if y'all feel free, hit us up, DM us, contact us, whatever you can if you need somebody to talk to about the situations.
Exactly, because I'm sorry, James, but did you see the statistics of this shit, man? Since sports been gone, they said there's been an increase in teen pregnancy.
Yeah.
More kids are killing themselves. More kids are going to jail, joining gangs and stuff. So it's like it's very important that we keep these kids.
Well, it's important that we find something and give them something to do. They gotta need an out. And that out is to have some way where they can call and talk to people like us. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God to y'all, I am so passionate about this shit. I am so passionate about helping cats like me. I see a whole bunch of these little dudes walking around here, and I'm like, if they only knew. When I should have been, man, let me holler at you. Some don't want to holler, but let me holler at you. Man, I see the same facial expression. I had that expression when I was 13. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know it's a lot of these young dudes out here that can't be reached, but want to be reached. We just got to just keep doing what we're doing and touch as many as we can. You know what I'm saying? So one day we're going to be in a position to where, you know, talk is cheap, fuck the bullshit. You're going to see James McDonald out there. You know what I'm saying?
And
we're gonna
believe
make
me,
sure it
Norman
happens.
Steele and 8 will be right with you.
Right.
Because
Right.
we, you know,
So
that's what the Father Foundation is for.
yeah, I know. I'm just speaking because I see it every day. I see it every day. In Compton right now today, we got all of these kids, they still killing each other over bullshit. And niggas ain't got no gripes. They just killing each other. In LA, they just killing each other. You know what I'm saying? And at some point they gotta stop because, you know, one thing we do, we quick to kill each other opposed to going after if 5 motherfucking white supremacists come down East LA and with the business and on some bullshit, the majority of us ain't gonna know what the fuck to do.
Oh, that's for real. But you know what though? You know what's funny about that? And I'm leaving on this note. I saw a guy say something the other day. He was saying, you know what? I kill white people. And he did on purpose, right? First he said, I kill niggas all day. It ain't nothing to me. Nobody said a word. But the moment he said, I kill white people, it's like everything just went ballistic. Just think about that a little bit.
For sure.
I see it every day.
Yeah, we holler at y'all next week.
100. Peace.
Finally get a chance to let the real ones speak. Gangster Chronicles. What's the word on the streets?